Hello and welcome. Let us discuss this question that was there in 2024 paper with reference to Coriolis force. Which of the following statements are correct? Number 1, it increases with increase in wind velocity. Number 2, it is maximum at the poles and is absent at the equator. Now, as far as Coriolis force is concerned, first of all, we know that wind flows from high pressure to low pressure. So, because of pressure gradient or slope, wind flows, right? So we know that wind flows from high pressure to low pressure area. Okay. So now if wind is flowing, so the force that is acting upon this pressure gradient, that is known as PGF, pressure gradient force. And Coriolis force is perpendicular to this PGF. Coriolis force is perpendicular to this PGF. Okay. Now what happens if we look at the NCERT explanation? This is again from Fundamentals of Physical Geography. So we know that there has been four questions from climatology, and they were all from Fundamentals of Physical Geography, right? So this is quite important, class 11 NCERT. So this Coriolis force, the rotation of the earth about its axis affects the direction of the wind. This force is called Coriolis force, right? It deflects the wind in right direction in northern hemisphere. So if we make this, then if this is the direction of wind, then it deflects towards its right, and if this is the direction in southern hemisphere, then it deflects towards its left. Okay, and to the left in the southern hemisphere. The deflection is more when the wind velocity is high. So we know that wind velocity here in doldrums region, that is 0 degree equator to 5-6 degree north and south, we have doldrums, right? Calmer conditions. And here we have zero Coriolis force or no Coriolis force. So since the wind velocity is less, Coriolis force is negligible, and hence if we connect this to tropical cyclone or cyclogenesis, then there is no tropical cyclone in equatorial belt or doldrum region. Tropical cyclones are absent in this region. Okay. But if we move from equator towards poles in both the hemisphere, then Coriolis force increases, that is deflection also increases, because there is increase in velocity of the wind. We know that some of the highest velocity of winds are in the 40s, 50s and 60s degrees south of the equator, in the south of the equator, yeah. And the windiest capital, this information is also written in NCERT, that one of the windiest capital around the world is Wellington, that is New Zealand. Okay, so here the velocity of wind is very high, and also Coriolis force is very high. So we can relate that Coriolis force is directly proportional to the wind velocity. So it increases with increase in wind velocity. This statement is also correct. It is maximum at the poles and is absent at the equator. This is also correct. So our answer for this question will be C, both 1 and 2. Thank you.